Craig Jones has high praise for Jozef Chen, and that means a lot coming from a guy who doesn't take anybody seriously.
You probably don't know who this guy is, but Jozef Chen, he first came to my gym, B-Team in Texas, as a 17-year-old with bleach blonde hair. I thought he was another regular tourist popping through. I rolled with him. I was very, very impressed with how good he was. When I was Jozef Chen's age, I was borderline retarded. I still am retarded. And this kid just seems like a more advanced human being than really myself, Nicky Ryan, or most of the people at B-Team. You know what I mean? He's an anomaly in this sport.
And he is going up against Andrew Tackett, who has been practicing jiu-jitsu since he was a young kid, but also very talented in his own right. So as we start in the standing position, Jozef is able to get that right underhook under Andrew's left side. Andrew uses that to his advantage to throw up a flying triangle. You can see as he jumps, he uses the entanglement on his right hand to push Jozef's left hand in between his legs, and from there he's able to lock up the flying triangle. The first thing that Jozef does to defend is he sits on his butt and he tries to throw his right leg over Andrew's body, but Andrew is aware of this and he's able to block that leg with his left arm. But while Andrew is distracted, Jozef is able to pull his head back into a better postured position, and now Andrew doesn't have arm control or head control right now. So now he's only working with his legs. Jozef uses this opportunity to turn his body, post his left hand to the floor, and that posting hand gives him more leverage to throw his right leg over Andrew's body, even though Andrew is trying to stop it with his left arm. Andrew is still trying to block Jozef's right leg, but with a small adjustment, Jozef turns his knee, which fits perfectly on top of Andrew's wrist, and that allows him to slide his leg completely over, and now Andrew has lost the triangle. Jozef tries to use this opportunity while he's on top to get the head and arm position, but Andrew does a good job of framing him away with his arms and also getting his knee shield involved so he is able to get back into half guard. Jozef still has his right knee in the knee cut position, and so all he would need to do is get past the hip to go for the knee slice, but Andrew is able to point his right knee up, which prevents Jozef from being able to use the knee slice, and then he gets his left leg back involved in Jozef's hip, so he is able to go back into a neutral open guard position. Jozef continues the pressure and puts his hips directly above Andrew's hips, and Andrew does try to sweep him, but Jozef is known for his tripod passing and he's able to keep his balance and stay in top position.
Jozef has a unique style of passing people's butterfly guards. It's a combination of tripod passing and float passing, but he puts himself in this position where you on bottom think you're going to be able to sweep him, but you can't sweep him. And when you try to, he uses that as opportunity to pass. It's like something unique. And again, in all my years of training, never felt anyone pass butterfly like that.
But Jozef does a pretty creative move with his leg pummeling. And so while he posts his weight on his left arm, that makes the right side of his body weightless. So he's able to slide his right leg above Andrew's left knee line, places his heel on his hip. He's able to sit right into 3/4 mount from here, which was a very slick move. Andrew does a good job of wasting no time and framing away, getting his left knee back involved, pummeling with his right leg, and then entering back into the open guard. When Andrew gets the chance, he decides to frame away from Jozef and do a technical stand-up, and Jozef immediately sticks to guard. This is only a 10-minute match, so it seems like both competitors really want to just get the action going. Jozef here tries to attempt a butterfly sweep, but Andrew is able to nullify it and get back into his butterfly guard. And while Jozef is grabbing Andrew's left ankle, Andrew uses that grip to grab onto Jozef's wrist, and Andrew passes his knee line, and that allows him to attack for the Kimura. Jozef immediately throws him over, and Jozef puts his right leg in a very specific angle where Andrew is not going to be allowed to get back on top, and it also prevents the Kimura grip from getting stronger as well. So Jozef gets his hips closer to Andrew, and when he's able to face his hips to the mat, that's when he starts fighting for top position, and from here the Kimura is nullified. Andrew is able to use the positioning and the inversion to start attacking Jozef's right leg. But when he locks it up, Jozef made sure that his right arm was caught inside with his leg, and that's going to make it much harder for Andrew to secure any sort of leg locks with that arm still in there as well. It looks like Andrew tries to go for a heel hook briefly, but abandons it and then just accepts top position again and starts working for the pass. Andrew is able to secure the underhook on his left side, and he starts going for a knee cut pass. It is very close, but Jozef is able to stuff his knee below his hip line, and with really good timing, he's able to use that overhook and the positioning of his knees to execute a John Wayne sweep. When Andrew does get swept, he does immediately start going for sweeps because he still has that deep left underhook. Every time that Andrew tries to sweep Jozef, Jozef is always keeping 3 points of connection to avoid being swept. He's using his head so he can't be flipped over. He uses his elbows so he can't be swept to either side. And he's using his legs as the third piece of the tripod, even though it looks like he's about to be swept. Because Andrew hasn't been able to sweep Jozef, he ends up going for a shoulder crunch arm lock from close guard, which Jozef is able to defend. Briefly goes for another triangle that Jozef postures out of, and uses the grip from the failed triangle to do a technical stand-up and get back into top position again. Andrew goes for a hip switch smash pass, but his hips land very far above Jozef's center line, and Jozef is able to turn that into a leg entanglement.
So when I'm here now, I lift my heels nice and tight. I don't want to get caught into his pocket here where he can go for leg locks. And keep them nice and tight. Circle behind, I kick, and I bring my knees back tight.
While he has Andrew's right leg secured, he does start going for an ankle lock on his left leg. And Andrew is doing a great job of keeping calm, pushing Jozef's right leg so it stays away from his hips. Jozef does need that right foot to be placed either on his hip or over his hip to be able to secure the ankle lock. And because he's doing a great job of defending his left leg, Jozef abandons the left leg and then tries attacking the right leg. Andrew first unhooks Jozef's left ankle from his body. Then he uses his right hand to stuff Jozef's right ankle so it can't lock him up again. And then once he's able to clear both of Jozef's hooks, then he's able to stand up and start attacking from top position again. We end up in Jozef's open guard. Andrew is trying to use different angles with his legs to try to get Jozef's legs out of position and try to end up in a hip switch side smash. He finally does commit heavily to a side smash, but once again, he does overcommit to it and he lands his body too far above Jozef's body. And because of Andrew's overcommitment, Jozef is able to turn that into a leg entanglement, and he's able to secure Andrew's right ankle on his shoulder. He brings his right leg over from the back to start securing the upper part of the leg, and once his right leg is in position, he takes his left leg out and secures the figure 4 grip with his legs and starts going for the knee bar. Now Jozef's position is already very dangerous right here. Andrew decides to go belly down, but that allows Jozef to get a great angle to straighten out his leg. Andrew realizes the mistake he made and tries to go back to the position that he was in, but because now his leg is already extended, that just puts him in a worse position, and then he's forced to tap to an extremely tight knee bar. Even though it was a very short match, it was very entertaining with a lot of great attacks and defenses from both guys. You can see why Craig Jones gives a lot of praise to Jozef. The fact that he's only been training for about 3.5 years and he's showing skills like this already is very impressive. So thank you guys for watching again. I hope you appreciate the breakdown, and I will see you in the next video.